Hi everyone, and welcome back to Our Life in the Florida Keys. Travel with us as we head up to St. Pete for the weekend. We made this one all about the dogs. Meet Davina and Voss. They are rescue pit bulls. They were both rescued as adults, and we could not have asked for better additions to our little family. Driving into St. Pete at night is absolutely beautiful. We left right after work and didn't get there till about 11:30 at night. But our dogs quickly made themselves at home. The next morning we got up, got breakfast ready, really got settled in and got a good feel for the house. A couple of things I want you to note about this house is, I will tell you, this is hands down the cleanest Airbnb I have ever stayed in. It is also the most well-stocked Airbnb. There was absolutely everything that you needed. And even though this house caters to the dogs, I'm telling you, it met my strict standard of clean, which is really, really hard to do. I am a little OCD and a little bit of a neat freak. And I will tell you, I couldn't find one single thing wrong or out of place with the Doghouse Inn. It was absolutely impeccable. The attention to detail was incredible, down to the vintage postcards that were mailed the year that the house was built. All of the art was local, which was super impressive, and all of the art was dog related somehow. Again, the attention to detail in this house was just absolutely mind-blowing, and I truly felt like it deserved an entire video on its own. They even welcomed us with a little sign for my daughter and our two dogs, and left us some sparkling cider. And hopefully I'm not ruining any surprises by mentioning the cute little sign and the sparkling cider. However, it just goes to show that Christina, the host of the home, absolutely goes above and beyond, more than any other Airbnb host or hostess that I have ever seen before. Here comes the icing on the cake. As if the inside of this house wasn't cute enough, this porch is absolutely amazing. And if you're already looking outside into the backyard, yes, that is a cute little dog park just for your four-legged friends. Our dogs absolutely loved it, went and ran around, and one of the things that we noticed that we don't have in the islands that are on the mainland are squirrels. And so they went outside and chased squirrels. Maybe they missed those, I'm not sure. But anyway, I can tell you that the neighborhood surrounding this home is super cute and really fun and really quiet. So it was an absolutely enjoyable place to stay. added a few pics that didn't have our stuff everywhere so that you can enjoy what the house really looks like. And I'll link it below if you are ever in St. Pete and you want to stay somewhere centrally located that is absolutely incredible. Even if you don't have dogs, this place is the spot. It was great and we cannot wait to come back. While in St. Pete, I definitely couldn't pass up a chance for an appointment at Rollie Locs. If you have dreads, if you're thinking about getting dreads, this is where you want to go. They have a huge Instagram following and people fly from all over the US to come and see these ladies. I'm here to tell you that Dani and Rollie know exactly what they're doing and they are so incredibly talented. I will link their information below for you. Of course, while we were there, we had to spend a little bit of time at the pier. After a walk down the pier, it was time to cuddle up and watch a movie. And then as soon as we got here, it felt like it was time to turn around and head back home. It was such a short weekend. Just stopped at, I think, the only rest stop in the Everglades. It's actually like the Big Cypress National Preserve or whatever, but we got these guys in the back. Hello. Anyway, so they are running to go use the restroom, grab some snacks, some junk food, obviously, and then we will get back on the road. For us, it is about, I want to say about a 5.5 to 6.5 hour drive, depending on traffic. So anyway, it's a long drive. It's a long drive up to Tampa and St. Pete. It's almost at that threshold where I wouldn't drive it. I would fly instead. But obviously that costs more money. But still, you have to gauge like the difference between your time and your dime, right? So, but anyway, it's a great little spot up there to spend a long weekend. And the really beautiful thing is, like, even though we live in the Keys and we're, you know, out on an island and kind of in the middle of the ocean per se, we have access really by car to what I consider like Central Florida and down. So Central and South Florida really is kind of our playground if we want to get off the island and do something not in the water. how exciting driving through the Everglades is. This really kind of goes on for hours and hours, so you sort of have to kind of entertain yourself, as you saw in our last clip. This is the best part of the drive. This is where you head off of the turnpike and get onto US 1 and start driving through Florida City and eventually into Key Largo. This means we are that much closer to the islands and that much closer to home. Even at this point though, we still have about 2.5 hours to drive south before we get to our front door. Welcome to Florida City. It was so beautiful looking at all the different storm clouds bouncing around all over the islands. Some of them were over land, a lot of them were over water, and we kept looking for water spouts, but we didn't see any this time. Although I guarantee with the way some of those storms looked, we probably just missed them. Water spouts are actually really common down here. On any given day, especially during the rainy season, you can drive over a bridge and look out at the ocean at a storm and see a water spout. I remember when I first moved here, I thought, wow, that must be absolutely incredible. And I have to tell you, every time I still see one, it is incredible. It is really, really cool. And the neatest time to see them is actually when you're out on a boat. They're not as big and as scary as tornadoes, so don't think of them like that. And typically when you're on a boat, you're far away from the storm. Otherwise, you're heading in and avoiding the storm at all costs. At least you should be. This is when the drive gets really good. When there's water on both sides, you know you have arrived. Welcome to the 7 Mile Bridge. I sped it up because it really is 7 miles long. And at the end of this bridge, that means you've officially entered the Lower Keys, which is where we live. It's been a really great weekend, but man, I am glad to be back home. As always, thank you so much for watching. We really love sharing our life with you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And don't forget, it's always on Patreon first. See you guys again soon.